kindly share his special remarks with our distinguished audience.
केंद्र सरकार में कैबिनेट मंत्री गडकरी जी, फॉर्मर सीईओ नीति आयोग और ऑनरेबल G20 शेरपा अमिताभ कांत जी, यहाँ पर मौजूद केंद्र सरकार के मॉड सेक्रेटरी OP अग्रवाल जी, महुआ जी, and I think all the OEMs from India and outside India, lot of I think delegates from the finance industry within India and outside India, और सभी मीडिया बंधु सभी को नमस्कार. I think it's a privilege and a great moment for me to speak on this occasion. क्योंकि जब हम बात करते हैं इलेक्ट्रिक मोबिलिटी की, तो इट इज़ कनेक्टेड टू अ वेरी सेंसिटिव एंड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक विच इज़ क्लाइमेट चेंज. और जितने ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स इंडिया में, दिल्ली में और वर्ल्ड ओवर होंगे, उतना ही पोल्यूशन कम होगा. एंड वी ऑल नो दैट द पोल्यूशन लेवल्स दे अफेक्ट lakhs of crores of people, not only in Delhi, India, but world over. And before I forget, let me congratulate the entire team of CSL. I think that time Saurabh ji was leading, then handled by Mahua ji, and नीति आयोग अमिताभ कांत जी से भी पहले मुलाकात हुई. And let me share few incidents or moments on this electric vehicles की जो जर्नी रही दिल्ली में, and especially the concept of aggregation. क्योंकि इंडिया में आज से पहले ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ था कि इस प्रकार से एग्रीगेशन बसों की गई हो, and especially with the new technology of electric vehicles. I still remember when Mr. Saurabh, I had a discussion with Mr. Saurabh, and then Mahu was following up. And in Delhi, apart from procurement, we have a long history of engaging buses on a per kilometer basis, which we say gross cost model. So mobility as a service. And we have been engaging buses on per kilometer basis from way back in 2011, and at the moment Delhi has a fleet of almost 7,400 buses. And it will be interesting to note that out of 7,400 buses, now also 3,300 buses are engaged on the gross cost model. And we have been floating different tenders, probably those were of CNG buses. But when request came from CSL that Delhi should also participate in the grand challenge, so in a lighter moment I used to always tell CSL कि ये सिर्फ चैलेंज ही रहेगा, ग्रैंड नहीं है. Because as Amitabh Kant ji said, India has huge potential, but bringing all the states together on one single platform and all the OEMs on one single platform, I think remarkably a wonderful job done. And Delhi got 1,500 buses out of those 5,000 buses. And if you compare the rates of the rate which we got in the Grand Challenge and the buses which we were procuring earlier, if you compare it with CNG and electric, a huge difference, almost 50%. Last tender which we, the CNG buses which we had floated, almost, it started few years back from 80 rupees per kilometer, it came down to almost 72, 73 rupees per kilometer. And the rate which we got in the Grand Challenge tender is almost 43, almost half. Simultaneously, we had also floated, Delhi government alone had floated few tenders, standalone tenders of electric buses, maybe of 300 in a cluster or another 300 in a cluster. And in the standalone tender, we got, I think, a rate of almost touching to 60 rupees per kilometer. So I think aggregation has huge benefit in the price discovery, in bringing down the prices, and I think the OEMs also feel comfortable that there is a demand, aggregated demand of, let's say, 5,000 buses, now the new target of 50,000 buses. Delhi, under the leadership of Hon'ble CM Arvind Kejriwal, I think we have adopted this new technology very well. Almost 2 years back, we had come out with Delhi electric vehicle policy, probably one of the best electric vehicle policies. We have offered many incentives, almost from ranging from 30,000 to almost 1.5 lakh rupees. Any person in Delhi buying electric vehicle, the road tax has been waived off, the registration tax has been waived off. And Delhi alone, in last 2 years, we have already disbursed a subsidy of more than 100 crores. To be precise, it is 103 crores rupees that has already been disbursed to the purchasers. I think that has created a lot of demand. And in last 2 years, we have added almost 70,000 electric vehicles on Delhi roads. I'm sure anyone traveling on Delhi roads would be seeing more those green registration plates. If we talk about charging points, then Delhi already has functional live around 2,500 charging points. Again, in the electric vehicle policy, we have set a very aggressive target that we would like to create almost 18,000 points in the coming years. Delhi has almost close to 300 electric buses running on Delhi roads. We have already placed work orders for 1,500 buses, and we have already requested CSL to float another tender for Delhi of close to 6,500 buses. Now, along with the procurement of buses on GCC model, I think another important topic which is associated with the electric buses is the creation of infrastructure. If we talk about the public transport and buses, I think it is equally important to invest in creation of electric depots. And sharing you the story of Delhi, we have approximately 55 depots to house the buses. In phase 1, we've already made functional 3 electric depots. In phase 2, 17 depots are in the process of being electrified. And in the phase 3, 35 depots would be electrified by December 2023. The phase 2, in which we have taken 17 electric depots, they would be ready to house the electric buses by June 2023. So Delhi government has already spent almost 500 crores to create the 17 electric depots. and to electrify the 35 electric depots, we would be spending another 800 crores. The only, I think, the point which has to be kept in mind is, it is a time-consuming process. So all the states who want to house the electric buses, I think they have to plan in advance, because to electrify one depot, the timeline which we are getting from DISCOMs is almost of 18 months. अब पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट की हम जब भी बात करते हैं तो बार बार एक चीज़ ज़रूर क्लियर होती है कि जितना पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट स्ट्रेंथन होगा उतने ही लोग पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट बसेस में चलेंगे. एंड एज अमिताभ कांत जी ऑल्सो सेड दैट इंडिया शुड हैव अ वर्ल्ड क्लास ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम. बट आई थिंक समवेयर इट इज़ इक्वली इम्पॉर्टेंट टू हैव दैट पॉलिटिकल विल. अमिताभ कांत जी ये भी मेंशन कर रहे थे कि मोस्ट ऑफ द STUs जो स्टेट ट्रांसपोर्ट यूनिट्स हैं, दे आर फाइनेंशियली वीक. बट आई थिंक एज आई हैव बीन सेइंग ऑन न्यूमरस ओकेजन्स, गडकरी साहब से मुलाकात बेंगलोर में भी हुई थी, वहाँ भी मैंने ये चीज़ रखी थी कि अगर पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट को स्ट्रेंथन करना है तो आई थिंक इट्स हाई टाइम दैट स्टेट्स should start investing in public transport. जिस प्रकार से every state invest in education and health, तो वहाँ तो हम नहीं कहते कि कोई हॉस्पिटल, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल is running into losses. We never say government schools are running in losses. लेकिन जब भी पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट की बात आती है तो हमेशा ये बार बार याद दिलाया जाता है कि जो स्टेट ट्रांसपोर्ट अंडरटेकिंग्स हैं, they are running in losses. But I think I have a very firm opinion, and that is what exactly Honorable CM Arvind Kejriwal also thinks, that the state transport undertakings, public transport, I think they have to be strengthened by infusing funds. If we don't infuse funds in the public transport, so only on the fare collection basis, the state transport undertakings will never become profitable. And if we really want that maximum people to use public transport, then I think the fare should be on the lower side. In fact, another dynamic step taken by Honorable CM Arvind Kejriwal in that direction, and probably I think it is nowhere on this scale, it has nowhere happened in the entire world, that all the female passengers in Delhi, they are traveling free, absolutely free, in the buses owned by Delhi government. I think we launched this scheme of free travel of female passengers, I think in 2019 and maybe November, October. And in a span of almost 2 years, it's very, I think, encouraging and heartening that 57 crore rides have been taken by females absolutely free of cost. I think there cannot be any other way, a better way to encourage use of public transport. And now Delhi, I think, is leading by inducting more and more electric buses. As I said, 300 electric buses are already running, almost 250 buses are running on Delhi roads. By end of 2023, we will have added another 1500, and by end of 2025 we will be adding another almost 6,500 buses. So the target which has been set by Honorable CM Arvind Kejriwal for the public transport for electric vehicles in Delhi is by the end of 2025 almost 80 to 90% of the Delhi government fleet of buses will be electric. Almost very close to 8,000 electric buses will be electric in the Delhi government fleet. Now I think a very crucial aspect of introduction of electric vehicles, I think when it comes to financing, I think a lot of apprehensions must be there in the minds of I think anybody from finance industry, it's a new technology, a lot of risk involved. Well, I can talk about Delhi, that as I told you that since 2011, we have been running buses on the gross cost model, and till date, we have had no issues of payment. If we talk about the 1500 electric buses, almost very close to 6,000 crore rupees have already been committed by Delhi government. So anybody from the financing industry, and I'm told a lot of financial institutions like ADB, World Bank, MEGA, Canadian Pension Fund, delegates from US government, European Commission, JP Morgan, Macquarie Capital, Standard Chartered. I think India has a huge market, and I think there has to be innovative ways of financing, because if electric vehicles, they have to be inducted, then somewhere the capital has to be made available to the OEM so that we can induct more and more electric buses. I think OEMs also, a lot of OEMs from outside India, I would appeal to those OEMs also to start production in Delhi, in India, so that we have more OEMs manufacturing buses. I think people from Benz and Scania are also here. I would appeal to them to set up manufacturing units. Hon'ble Central Minister is also here, so that we have more variety of engaging buses on per kilometer basis, and providing a world-class transport system to entire India and also in Delhi. I once again congratulate the entire CSL team, Niti Aayog team, WRI, and I thank them to give me this opportunity to present my views here and share the journey of Delhi, a very interesting journey in the electric vehicles. I wish everyone all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. That was the Honourable Minister of Transport, Government of Delhi, and he's given us a very promising view and setting the stage for the Government of Delhi, what they want to do for the entire transport system here. So we're going to see a very different Delhi. Thank you very much, under the leadership of the Honourable Minister of Transport, Government of Delhi, for repainting